Warning: this episode of Inko Podcast may contain great amounts of triggered Inko and very angry speaking Inko. So do not enter if you're not ready. Judging from the fact that you're still here and you didn't turn off your phone, your Anchor, your Apple Podcast or your Spotify or wherever and whenever you are listening to me, greetings and salutations and welcome to the second podcast of my new line and my new season. We are starting this new series with the bunch of questions that I get annoyed by asking a lot. But this particular one is, I would say, my absolute favorite because it is not about the question that is being asked. It is about the attitude with this question is being asked and about the greater social situation that this attitude is the sign of. Oh, and small disclaimer. Any resemblance to real persons or names is purely coincidental. And I really mean it, because I've been asked those questions so many times that probably a lot of you will feel guilty after what I'm saying and what I'm about to say, and please don't. Just let me finish and we will be all good, okay? Okay then if it's all settled, let's go move on to the subject. So, after all this very, very long start, what am I talking about? The first most common question that I'm being asked among why am I hiding your face, this answer you've got to know in the last podcast, is what apps do you use to edit your photos? And now let's start from the very beginning. I have good news. If you really want to know the answer, I have the whole highlighted story about it. On this exact story, I wrote to you that if you want to achieve some certain effect and you want to add something on your photo, just type the name of the effect you are searching for example, pixel sorting, glitchiness, or I don't know, streak or something. Just type it in your app store and you will probably find something good to use it. And, well, this is the exact instruction. I can't give you more because when you will do this, the exact apps that will show you are the apps that I'm using them. So what more I can do? I can Google it for you and I can give you this all on the golden plate, like this is what I can do. So if you are not doing this, and I'm not mentioning you listening to this podcast, I'm mentioning you in the meaning of a person who does it. So if you are not doing it, it isn't a problem with the apps, and it isn't a problem with my, those untold stories and unsolved mysteries. This is the problem with the attitude. And now we are heading to the very, very exact subject topic of this podcast. Like the one simple step, the one simple thing you have to follow to not succeed in anything you're doing. And it is very well proven. This is all true. Do it and you won't succeed. I guarantee it to you. To understand better the situation I'm talking about, you need to listen something about the second most common question that I being asked, and it is not about my Instagram, it is about my work, because you know probably that I'm working as a content creator and that I'm writing for a living, and I don't know how it looks in your countries, but in Poland writing for a living is, well, not very popular, and it is not very easy to start writing for a living. So I'm being asked very often, what should I do to start writing and, to write for a living? Okay, this question is wrong on so many levels that I even don't know where to start. And believe me, please, don't read this podcast as, sign of, oh my god, Inko is so bossing around, or she is pretending she's so famous and everybody wants to get to know her. No. It is not like this. A lot of content creators deal with it. The bigger one, the lesser one, the tiny one like me, and the even tiniest ones, and the biggest ones. And to be honest, I'm a little bit ashamed of that. Okay, I'm super ashamed of that. I've been on the reverse side many times, and I've been this annoying questioning guy many times. You may now feel a little bit angry with me because you may ask yourself a question, Why this question is being even considered to be annoying. I just want to know, I just want to learn, and I just want to, gain some experiences from people more experienced than me. So, this question is very annoying because the answer you will gain is completely useless to you. And I can guarantee you that it is completely useless. Why it is completely useless? Firstly, because you're not the person that done all those things you were asking about. Well, you have your own mindset, you have your own abilities, skills, talents, characteristics, all this stuff. You have your own experiences, things you like, things you despise, and as well as the person you are asking. Because believe me or not, all those content creators and all those authorities and all those people you admire are people as well. And they've been in the very exact place when you are now, and they dealt with very exact problems that you are dealing with right now, and they went through it. They went through it all by themselves. It is not the fact that they didn't ask for help and they didn't ask for advices. Duh, I've asked for advices like 1,000,000 times. And I've gained a lot of free knowledge from the people more experienced than me. Right now you may think, oh my god, she's so bossy, she gained so many free knowledge and now she doesn't want to share. I've gained all this free knowledge because I did know where to look for it and how to use it. I didn't wait for someone to give it to me on a golden plate. And to be honest, I'm very willing to help if I can see that someone really cares and someone will use the time I will invest in this person. I do want to share. For the purposes of this Inko podcast episode, let's imagine such a situation. If someone would ask me, hey Inko, I have such a problem because there is the cool guy that does pixel sorting and now he sends me this cool guy that he admires and I really like to, achieve this effect. Maybe you know any apps that could help me achieve it, or maybe you do know how to achieve it in Photoshop because I've tried this and I've tried that and I don't like the effect. And I will be like, of course I will help you because you know what you want. You are here because you're following your own path and you're looking for answers, and you're not here to, thoughtlessly copy. You've searched. You don't waste my time. You treat me like a partner in this conversation, and I know that you will use the very answer. And now let's stick with this wasting time part because it may sound too negative to some of you. The wasting time part does not mean that you are not worth someone's time. You are not worth someone's attention and energy and all this stuff. It is completely different situation. It is completely reverse situation. This is you who don't value the time of this person. It is about the fact that you, as asking such a question, are not valuing my time. And believe me, I've been a lot of times on this not valuing side. Oh, believe me, I've asked many people, and I have one particular situation in mind which I am very ashamed of. It was in the past, but not a very distant past, so I'm shaming the behavior that I did not a very long while ago. So, believe me, I know how it is and how it feels from the other side. I've asked one of the content creators I really admire about something connected to the Instagram and reaches. And she was like, well, most oftenly I'm not responding to such messages, but this. And this message was very angry, and this message was pure, I've told million times that I'm doing this and this and this, and I have a few ebooks about it. If you've read it, good, but read it again because you probably didn't catch what I wanted to say. If you didn't read it, just buy them. And I was like, oh my god, I didn't do all those things. She already done million times before. And why did I do this? Because I was lazy and I didn't value her time. And when I realized that, I was so ashamed of myself because I behaved very badly, and I've behaved like someone, who ignores that she mentioned it million times before. And I behaved like a baby who, wants to have right there and right now what she wants. And don't be such a person, please. Don't be such a person as I was. Because it is all about respect. And This person knows the answer to your question because she or he invested a months or a years of her own hard work, and she shares just exactly as much as she feels comfortable with. So please respect this boundary. When dealing with such a situation, it is good to realize that if you would follow the footsteps of a very person that you are asking, if you would exactly what she done, you wouldn't achieve such an effect. Even if you've done exactly as she told you or he, you wouldn't have exactly the same effect because you are a different person and she or he is a different person. And it may sound stupid and it sounds very plain, it may sound very, very simple, but it is true. If you would do exactly the same thing I've done since I've started writing, if you would follow my footsteps and do exactly as I say, you wouldn't be in the same place that I am today 6 years from now. Because world change, market change, and we are both completely different people. Like my experiences may come in handy if you know what do you want to know, if you have the plan for yourself, if you know what you're going to do, if you know what you want, if you know what person you want to be, what job you are looking for, or what expectations you have to your future. I can help you. But if you have absolutely no idea and want just copy, I won't help, and neither would anybody, because the answer who you want to be is only within you, and no one can take off this responsibility of you, because it is your responsibility. And there are a lot of people on your ways who are willing to help, but if you make it unavailable, we can't make anything. There is also another thing that just came into my mind when I was talking that I didn't mention before. Because if I had the very exact amount of information, data and experience that I have now when I started my work and my content creating and my blogging 6 years ago, would I be able to use it? Well, to be honest, I doubt that. I doubt that because I weren't that person that I am today. And it is not about the information that I gained, but more about the experience I gained. Because probably if I had all those knowledge and all those information that I have now, 6 years ago, I would be able to use like 5% of it, maybe 6%, and nothing more. Because I had completely different assets, mind asset back then. I had completely different skills, completely different brain, like it was completely unavailable. The 95% of this knowledge would be completely unavailable. You just have to level up. It appears that life is just another gameplay. So, this is the end. We are heading to the end of this episode of podcast, and I really hope that you didn't get insulted of it and that you gained something from my chaotic speech for you. And let me say just one thing at the very end. You are a marvelous person, and you have great amount of skills and talents and abilities and ideas within you. And looking up to other people is good, yeah. Taking inspiration is good, yeah, of course. I do it a lot as well. But if you are wasting your energy on looking up to others, you probably won't succeed. And this is this one simple step you have to follow to not succeed. Because if you are reading the biography of someone who inspires you, yeah, this is nice inspiration, of course. But be aware that this is just the inspiration. You just don't have to compare yourself on and on to other people. Because the only person you can compare yourself is maybe you from the past. But it doesn't work that way also very good, because you in the past was completely different person. So just go with the flow and let yourself discover those amounts of abilities within you and take inspirations, take advices, but do not look up to other people like this to copy them, because this path will get you nowhere. Okay, it seems that this episode came out really much more serious than I firstly planned. I wanted to just complain a little bit about the reality event. It came out so dramatic, I can't handle it. I hope you gained something for yourself from my chaotic speech. And probably the next episodes will be more geek lifestyle and less psychological, but well, I couldn't help it. My education shows. See you on next podcast, dudes, or maybe on Instagram.